Hello and welcome to Baby Steps in Create Studio 3 Part 36, The Infinite Scroll. I'm Tony of Tony's Tutorials and we're on version 3.4.3 of Create Studio 3. As well as that, happy Valentine's Day. Right, let's get started by going up to a new projects tab and left clicking it. We are now in the canvas area. What we're going to do is going to go over to the left hand side, and this is all the studio area at the moment that's showing. And what we're going to do to this right one here, which is the backgrounds. Right, I'm going to left click on that. I'm going to go over to the scroll bar, left click and hold, drag downwards, so we can drag down between all the backgrounds that are available for me at the moment. I'm going to look for the jewellery. There it is. Left click on it and drag it onto the canvas area and release the left mouse button. Right. Now what I'm going to do, as you can see at the bottom, you've got the two scroll bars. This one with a little circle on it is the one we want. We're going to left click on it, hold it and drag it to the left side until we get the number 30 on the timeline. It is there. See it there, right? Now we've got that there. What I want to do is grab hold of the right hand side of my image by waiting until it's got these two arrows on it, and left click on it and drag across holding the left mouse button to get to 30. Right, now what I need to do next is right click on the actual element, click on lock with the left mouse button, and that locks that image to the canvas. Right, so we've done that. We can stretch it out, we can stretch that back out a bit, so it was to about there, somewhere like that. So the 30 is there, that'll be fine. Right, next what we want to do is go to at the top of where the studio area is. You'll see on the left hand side there's this little arrow turning going left. Right, if we click that with the left mouse button, we'll get out of the backgrounds. Right, and then we're going to go to the scroll bar, left click, hold and drag down till we get to where it says infinite scroll, which is here. This one here, which is where my cursor is now, and that's infinite scroll there. So if we click on that with the left mouse button, holding it and drag it onto the canvas. Right, as you can see, you've got the infinite scroll here. It automatically comes up with your settings there, but do notice this for starters, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes on it, not 6, not 8, just 5. Right, what that means is you can't take it, you can't stretch it to the left. You can stretch it to the right, but you can't stretch it to the left. Right, so what we're going to do is take it up there and I'm going to stretch it to the right, like so. Okay, but you notice when I do that, that comes up, but you can't do anything with it. It doesn't work. Right, it's blocked from that position because they've got to have a point where it starts all the while, or where there's one end point basically. Okay, next I've already got some text on my clipboard which I want to paste on here, so I need to cover that, so it'll cover that and paste over it. So I'm going to use Control and B to paste my text on there. And what it says is top rates for gold, watches at 30% off retail price. Natural diamonds and artificial diamonds are marked up with ND and AD respectively. If you have any questions, please ask a member of staff. That sounds reasonably standard sort of stuff. Right, so what I need to do now is stretch my infinite scroll so it's the same length as the image. So I'm going to go on to the element at the end, on the right end of the element there, and left click and drag it to the 30. So it's the same as the background. Hopefully that should be dead on. Yep. Okay, so there we got it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the things on here that you can change. What I'll do first is I'm just going to show you what it looks like so far. It's going really slow. You could read some of these quite a lot easy. with this kind of speed, so it's a bit too slow really at the moment. You can change the speed though in a minute, but that's what we're going to do. As you can see, that's not going to go all the way through the words for the time that I've got on there, 30 seconds. It'll take longer than that. So it's got halfway through any queries there or any questions. So what I need to do is change speed. I'm going to change it to about 30 for the moment, and you'll see the difference. Right, so let's go back to the beginning. It's much faster, but you can still read it. It's still at a good pace for being able to read it. Unless, of course, you rush in and you're trying to read something and do something else at the same time, then you won't be able to read it, definitely. But that looks at a reasonable pace. Okay, but it goes all the way through to it and it starts again. Okay. Right, now what can we do with it? You can, well, you've already seen you can change speed. Margin is for normal text margins, service and stuff like that. You've got the orientation, which you can either have it horizontal, which it is, or vertical. So we change it to vertical. That's how it goes. You can change, you can take it back to the right size for what you need for that. If you want to change it, put it back to horizontal for this one. As you can see, it's going a certain way. It's going towards the left, the right, and it's scrolling along. You can change it from there to going to the right. So let's just show you that. There you go. Okay. So let's just put that back to where it was. You can change the fonts. So you got that, or you got Abril face, which probably fits this better than any of the others, really. And you got weight. You can change the weight if your font will allow you to change it, which is one don't. So as well as that, you got your text. You can change the text color. So we have the text color is blue maybe, and then the background has something like yellow. You could do that. You can also change the transparency of both the text and the background. I mean, the background looks good. I wouldn't change the transparency of the text unless you really needed to be honest, but that's down to you at the end of the day. If you want to change it, you can. Right, so there you go. Anyway, let's just put that back to full anyway for the moment. I want to show you other things on there. Right, so you got spacing, so you can change the spacing of the letters if you need to. Right, you got your V padding because this is horizontal. If the orientation was vertical, then you would have a horizontal padding. Right, well, as you can see, this is what happens with that. Right, you could scale the whole thing, so you can scale it up or scale it down, which is what I want to do. Scale it down a bit. I'm going to bring it across that way more. Bring it across there. So that'll be about it. Pull that back that way a little bit. Right. So that looks pretty good. Right. Let's click on it again. So we got it scaled to a certain way we want it. If you want to use like Arabic or other languages which do right to left writing, you can click on that and it'll go that direction for you. You got your foreign languages and your cursives, so you need the ligatures for those sort of things. If you got like a little squiggly bit on something, or using joined up writing as we call it. Now you know you need it for that. Right, properties, you've got your positions, which are the average positions that you usually get. You got your scale, which you can do on here, which is on same as that on there. Your opacity, so you can make it completely or partly invisible. Whoops, what have I done? 52. Let's change it to 50, like that, so it's partly visible, as you can see. Now you can see through it mostly, right? Or you can take the change that to 100. Oh, that's 1000. 100 opacity brings it back to full solidness, right? You got your rotation, so you can rotate these round if you want to, like that. So you wanted to put a banner across like that, you could do that and have that infinite scroll in that way. You've got 3D rotation too, but it would be flat because this is a flat image, so there'd be no point in doing that really, unless you bulk it up and do it that way. Like a 3D one, you could do that, I suppose. And you can flip it. Say if you want to do a mirror image for any reason. Say if it's going against a water background and you want to flip it and have it look as if you can see it underwater, you can do that, I suppose. Right, so you can do that. Right, so that's all of them. You got your properties here, like the border. You can add a border to it, so to make it more distinguished by adding a border, a dark border around, just so you can see it better, I suppose. You could do that. So let's just try two, for example. Makes it more distinctive, doesn't it? Right. And you can draw the what do you call it? The border on the front or the back, which is necessary for certain things. So if it's on the front like that, and if it's on the back, it's more distinctive, right? Well, if you put it on the front, there's a reason for putting it on the front, and I'll show you in a minute, right? So it's on the front. That's what we're going to do. Click on it. Now go down to shadow, and the shadow, we're going to put 1 on the shadow distance, right? And that should be enough. Click on that, and as you can see, that's quite a bit of a difference there between that. Now if you do 0.5, that should be closer like that. That looks a bit better, right? But say if you had the border on draw back, you'll see a difference. If I'll bring that up, let's just give you the scale on that up. Can you see? You can see the lines of that, the shadow in the background of the words, you see. So if you want to change it, you click draw front, and it'll just have the front part showing of the actual text, and the background is definitely on the background, and the shadow is on the background, right? So that's the difference between the front and back of the border, right? You can see, yeah, right, that's that. I thought I'd better show you that. Right, next, let's just take the scale back down to 100, or even less. Actually, it was there, wasn't it? Somewhere around there, maybe even less than that. Let's just take that back up there and then make it slightly bigger. That's it, that's where I want it, somewhere there. Okay, right, so you got that. So you got a bit of a shadow on. I mean, you could have changed it to less than 0.5, I was thinking. By the looks on it, you could have it like 0.2 or something. You got your anchor point, which is in the middle at the moment. So if you want to align it to a certain area, you can use the anchor point for that. Blend mode gives you different types of ways it will actually show it, as you can see. I'm not going to go through them too much because you don't really need them that much, really, to be honest, unless you're doing specific things, really. And you got your track matte, but you don't really need that for masking on that, really, I don't think, unless you've got a real reason to use that. So you could have it in the background of a window. You could do it then, and use the background of the window. So you want that behind the window and showing it through there. Then you've got your tiling, so you can tile this so it's active and it'll be all the way across. So you could have the background in like sort of like that, so you could see it like that then. So that would be useful for the when you add the tiling on and then go like that or whatever. You could do different things with it. Let's just take the tiling off. So you could do that, right? The other thing is, I mean, you don't have to just have one. You could just put this in a bit. Oh, I need to pull it that way, don't I? I forgot. You don't just need one. You could have more than one of these. You don't have to just have one. And you could have the other two or three more. And with the others, you could do something like horizontal rather than, vertical rather than horizontal. And put one in the corner over that side, like that. And just make it smaller a bit on one side. Wait a minute, let's just, oh no, it's the wrong way around. But horizontalize it first. Let's just horizontalize it. And I need it to be a bit smaller. So do that first, then verticalize it. Alright, I'm making words up as I go along here. So you got it there, like that, you could have that. And now this one down here, just below them, and drag that across. Like that, and you could have another one on that side, so you could have that one there, and with this one you could have something like giving you sail. Oh, I didn't spell that one right. Let's do that one. Trying to do it quick. Like that. So to do that. Right, so you could do sail on that side. And that would be going like that way. So you could stretch that all the way to 30. Like that. Just play that. Then you could have another one on the other side. So we just copy that. Duplicate that one. Drag it across this way. And that go in the opposite direction. You could have it doing that. If you wanted, you could do that. I mean, you wouldn't have to have them necessarily the same colour or anything. You could have them different colours. Now, and everything like that. So that'd be one thing to do. You could have it like that. You could have 30% off this, 30% off that, or 10% off something else on one side, and just sale on the other side, or sale 30% off watches, sale 10% off rings, whatever, you know, things like that. That's what you could do. So if you wanted to do that, that would look interesting, and you could have like the logo of the jewelry store at the top here saying Marcy's jewelry or something like that, whatever, you know. So you could have Marcy's jewelry up here, suddenly come in from the front, you know, what do you call it now, scale up here to the top. Macy's jewelry, sale, diamonds off here, and whatever, you know. So you could do that. So all this is easy to do. I've showed you the basics of what you can do with this. I hope it's been useful to you, and I hope it helps you to improve your videos. If that's the case, please like and subscribe to my channel, Tony's Tutorials, and I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.